There's no doubt that the Jeep Compass has been the star for FCA in India. It's consistently been bringing in the sales, and even today, nearly 2 years after its launch, continues to sell 1,250 units a month in the country. And now, close to 2 years later, it's pulling out a trump card. It's called the Trailhawk, the most rugged compass money can buy.
So how is it different from the normal compass? Well, the company has given certain cues to make even a layman understand that it's a Trailhawk and not a compass. The big one up front is the black decal on the bonnet, and it looks pretty good, adds to the styling quotient, and also is anti-glare. So when you're off-roading, nothing shines in your eye, which is good, isn't it? Well, the other changes are the front bumper. As you can see, there's a mesh instead of the normal plastic cladding that goes around, and that's to change the approach angle of the car. Well, there of course is badging all over, and to make you understand that it's a Trailhawk. All of that said, there's a lot more than what meets the eye, and it's one of the extreme, and it's trail rated, so it's an extreme compass for sure. And well, no better way to test it out than going to an off-road track.
It also wears the trail rated badge, which is a stamp of recognition so that it can climb every mountain, quite literally. We had an obstacle course laid out for us to demonstrate this very aspect.
Well, it's a white car that we've got, and we are going to the off-road track just to check how much white is going to remain.
There were some serious inclines, descents, rocky pathways, and even a water crossing, all of which were to be tackled and instructions poured in as to how to go about changing the settings. While things started in auto mode on the select terrain system, we were pleasantly surprised how well it did even on tricky surfaces like loose mud. But things got a little serious. And that's when the two new additions, the 4WD low setting and the rock mode, came in handy. The Trailhawk jumped at every opportunity, and the 20:1 crawl ratio really does give the Trailhawk a significant advantage and the ability to climb like no other car in the segment. And the 9-speed automatic really shines out here too, providing power continuously to the wheels and making sure that the torque delivery takes you where you want to go. The Compass Trailhawk's small size and the improved approach and departure angles makes it easier to maneuver. And yes, it comes in very handy during steep ascents and descents.
While the car has become dirty, I have not. I'm clean, spick and span top to bottom, which means I can get back to work. And that's the concept behind all of this. But I'm not going back to work. I'm actually getting back into the car and going for another round.
While the Trailhawks got the ability to climb every mountain like a stabbed squirrel, how does it fare on the mundane acts of driving on tarmac?
Now that we've shown you what it does off-road, it's time to get it on-road and, well, try and drive it around there. So as you can see, the car is very well planted. Those 17-inch wheels actually do well in corners as well, so enough and more grip on offer. What is different though is the way this thing drives. Now there is a little bit of kickback from the suspension, so if you go into a very deep pothole, there is a bit of a kickback, but there is no thud that you hear. There's no mechanical thud that you hear. It just screams through it. There is a slight kickback that you have in the cabin, but overall it's pretty sorted suspension travel, that is. On the engine front, it's a BS6 engine, 168 brake horsepower, 350 Newton meters of torque, and it comes from as low as 1750 RPM, and that's what the gearbox has to deal with continuously, feeding in power, and it does it pretty well. Yes, there is a hint of lag under 2000 RPM, and that basically is because of the tuning. Now, people might tell you that it's a ZF gearbox, yes, which it is, but it's actually it's licensed by FCA and made in-house. So this one has been calibrated only for the Compass for now, and that means a lot of fine-tuning has happened over the years, and a lot has gone into the development of it as well. So there are different parts, there are different gears, but overall it does pretty well. As I told you, there's a hint of lag, but it makes it better to drive for sure.
While all of it sounds very promising, the feature list on the Trailhawk is a tad disappointing. Considering it sits right on top of the Compass range, it misses out on some key features, which include powered seats, auto headlamps and wipers. But it continues to come with a panoramic sunroof, an 8.4-inch infotainment system with Apple CarPlay, and then there's the all-black cabin with a sporty-looking red stitching, all of which suits the character of the Compass Trailhawk. And of course, there are the Easter eggs that we found: a lizard, a jeep, and even the Loch Ness Monster. Now to answer the big one, should you buy one? Frankly, it's not going to be cheap and will be priced somewhere around 25 lakh rupees. So yes, you have to dig deep into your pockets to buy one. But there are very few cars which come close to what the Trailhawk has to offer. And as an overall package, it's hard to find a perfect match.